What's up YouTube? It's been a wee while since I posted. Basically, I should have actually done this from the beginning, but I've gone and I've just got absolutely sick and tired of my headliner, which is here. As you can see, all the dust is falling down. Absolutely tired of it. I mean, I was getting the car ready just to go and get complied for New Zealand roads. I knew that I had to do this. I knew that I had to do this job. So yeah, I've removed the headliner, which is fairly straightforward if you have a little bit of mechanical aptitude. Basically, it's just you take off your sun visors, sail panels, the rear panels, feed your seat belts out through this hole here, and on the other side your interior light, and then it just pops out with these clips. So here's the proposition. This is what you do when you're on the other side of the world and it costs $300 for a new fiberglass reproduction panel. By the time you get something like that shipped to New Zealand, it's just up there, and yeah, and for our exchange rate, which is absolute crap at the moment, yeah, it's just not a good idea. So what I'm going to try and do, I've seen other guys resin with fiberglass resin just over the back of this, where it's all flaky and fluffy. They resin it with just epoxy resin, fiberglass type resin, and it stiffens them up real good. But then what I see is these guys are basically flipping them around like so. So okay, this is the seam side. I've seen the guys flip them around after they've resined the back, and it gives them a whole lot of strength. So it makes it really rigid, more rigid than than it is at the moment. But then they prepare to go and they try and glue fabric on it, and that's when the job kind of gets a wee bit weird and a wee bit sort of questionable and a bit sketchy if you're really into detail. No offence to anyone that's tried to do it. I know how hard it is if you're not an upholsterer to do it. So my angle of attack is going to be, I'm going to brush resin on the other side now after cleaning it up with the vacuum cleaner, get it stiff on the other side, and then I'm just going to brush and roll a couple of coats of resin on this side, and minimal amounts of Bondo, and I'm going to try and just paint it hard, rigid, flexible but rigid. Yeah, I'm just going to try and paint it and see how that comes out. So here we go. We'll get cracking. Time for the vacuuming. Alright, findings. Haha, yeah, it's far more delicate than I thought it would be. So here I am, I hoed into it with my shop vac, and around here it just started to pull everything away, and I had to kind of pull back and figure out what I was going to do from there. So what I've done, and it seems to be working, is I'm using just my blade scraper here, and I'm just holding the vacuum with the other hand, and I'm just going along and I'm scraping out all the dust. It's going straight into the vacuum cleaner, and once I've done that, I'm just going to give this side a coat before I even touch the other side, just because of how delicate it is. This foam is just dusty, but the edges and all that stuff around here, they need to remain as factory as can be, because at the end of the day, this is the edge that's seen all the way around. So yeah, I'll carry on. What's up everybody? I thought that I would give you an update. I have resined pretty much all the way along the top piece here, all the way along there, kept the splits, but that's great, and for the most part it's gone hard, which is great. And I've come down to about here. So tonight, yeah, I ran out of resin. That's the reason why I got to there and it's soaked up almost 500 ml, which is an eighth of a quart, I suppose. So I bought another quart or 1 litre, and I'm going to continue on down here and get all the soft stuff. Of course I'm going to flip it up the other way while I'm doing it. So yeah, he's hoping I don't waste too much more or have to use too much more before I put a coat of paint on it, because it's actually shaping up quite nicely. It'll even have hopefully these little stress cracks in here won't be too apparent. If so, I'll just have to fill them with some very light fiberglass Bondo filler. So yeah, that's where we're at, and I'm about to start resining again. Cool. What's up, everybody? Been a long time coming, but yeah, stage 2. So basically I have resined over the entire front and back. I probably already showed you guys this. So it's pretty tough, pretty strong now. No problem there at all. So what I'm going to do now is just lay a very, very thin film of fiberglass Bondo over top, just to fill over the cracks, and just fill in some areas that, you know, are a bit ratty, because I scraped it off after I filled it, pumped it full of primer, so it's quite hard. And then yeah, so now I'm just gonna put a skim over it basically, and then sand it to a point where then I can hit it with some satin black enamel, and should be ready to go back in the car. It's right there. Cool. Stand by. What's up, guys? Yep, I couldn't help myself. Look, I had it painted, and the texture was pretty rough, which I didn't really mind, because most people, when they look at a fabric headliner, you know, the texture can be pretty rough. But some places were rougher than others. Along here, of course, where you'll see, and even along here where you probably won't see, there was a few pits and dings, and I painted over it. I gave it 2 coats of satin black enamel all through here. But then in my sanding with the orbital, I nicked a chunk out of here, and I took a chunk out of there. So that was good enough reason for me to come home tonight, rub it back. But boy, I hope that this time when I wet sand it and I get it right, I dry it out and I paint it, then I will be okay with putting it in the car, because it's just, yeah. I've still saved myself probably $900 to $1,000 all up, because of what it would cost to get one here in a box to New Zealand. So yeah, it's very rigid but flexible. So yeah, I'm going to give it a final coat after I've got all the bumps that I can out of it, that I should have really left because they weren't really that bad. And yeah, we'll get back to you. I'd like to get it in tomorrow, because I was going to go for a cruise, be my birthday, turn 53. So I'd like to have got it in, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just a little bit too, I don't know, OCD, anal, whatever you want to call it. I just know that I can make it better. So I do. Alright. What's up, guys? Spent far too long again on it last night. Found a roller though. So it's kind of given me the finish I wanted. I mean, it doesn't want to be absolutely perfect, as I said. A little bit of roller marks and dodgy bits here and there. That's all part of it. So I'm about to fit it now. See how it's going to look in the car. Stand by. Car's still looking awesome. It's driving really well. The only thing I need to do is fix the horn, because it keeps shorting out. But anyhow, here's the continuation of the headliner that I've successfully, I believe, saved. So today I'm going to carefully mask all the way around here. Yep, I'll follow the camera around there. I'm going to mask all around here, and I'm just going to fill this with a light RTV silicone sealant all the way down there, and that way no moisture, if it ever does leak through the T-top, will get in. And it also means that all you need to do is run a razor blade across there, and then there won't be an issue with any kind of leaking, or even if you need to get it out, there won't be an issue to get the headliner back out again. You just have to, yeah, just cut back. So, cool. I shall carry on. Alright guys, this is the finished headliner. I'll hook the side here. Ooh. And I don't know how well we can see that, hopefully well enough. Now I wanted texture. It's got a lot of texture, but is real solid fiberglass resin with RTV all the way around here. And then of course it's got, you know, the odd line and the odd mark. Oh, that's actually a hair from the paintbrush that I used. But just to show that this is the final painted, tidy version of my headliner, and it would appear at a distance at least, which is what you really want to do. I mean, no one's going to get up there and inspect it like crazy. I just shot these with vinyl black paint, the sun visors and that, but it kind of matches the texture that's on the T-top, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want baggy, falling out, horrible, saggy crap all around here and bad stuff. So I wanted it this way, and it turned out the way I wanted it to. So job finished. Cheers, see ya.